do I always do that? Much better. So hopefully everybody that's there is doing okay this weekend. Well, hopefully I can entertain you a little bit. I have got a shitload of stuff written down for this game, so I shouldn't run out of anything to say. And I'm much more prepared this time than I was for the first game. It's been a long week, that's for sure. I'll let this intro play for you guys a couple times. Or we'll sit there and do nothing. Yeah, I played the game. There's no horrible buzzing noises or anything like that, thankfully. Supposedly there are some like graphical glitches, but I never encountered anything. But now that I'm streaming, God only knows what's going to happen. And I had a buddy of mine tell me that actually isn't that wasn't unique just for me. That actually happens for everybody that's playing their disc copy on the PS3. So, not sure what to say about that. I don't feel as bad about it, that's for sure. Because I thought I had done something to my disc, or maybe both my PlayStations were all fucked up. I'm actually not sure. I actually don't create the threads for this. Usually, one of my mods will do it, or some of the viewers, you guys will do it. I usually just kind of, whoever wants to come in, I'll just let them come in. I broke 100, and so I'm happy with that as far as viewers are concerned.
James, honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything. But you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Taping again? Come on. I don't know why, but I just love it here. It's so peaceful. You know what I heard? This whole area used to be a sacred place. I think I can see why. It's too bad we have to leave. Please promise you'll take me again, James.
I don't look like a ghost, do you?
Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway? What do you mean, anyway? You don't sound very happy to see me. I was almost killed back there. Why didn't you try to save me? All you care about is that dead wife of yours. I've never been so scared in my whole life.
Lost?
Just like that stupid dog. He had it coming too.
Eddie, you can't just kill someone because of the way they looked at you.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
Oh, it's you.
Just putting a gun to their head.
I am. You want me to be.
So, what about Laura? Did you find her?
Yeah, but she ran away.
We've got to find her.
It doesn't matter who I am. I'm here for you, James. See? I'm real.
It's good shit. It's a good intro. Well, it's past 9, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. Now look, normal. No hard mode.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
I hope you guys can hear everything okay. And here we have our main character, James Sunderland. But I'll let him narrate for us here.
In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Nope, no clowns. James is an interesting character, and I really wish I could say a lot right now, but I have to kind of let the game play out, for everybody. But this is Silent Hill 2, which was released in September of 2001. And as usual, the map is extremely important, so it's actually in your car. Gotta grab that. The controls are much more fluid, however, they're still not the greatest. So you can run, you don't need to stop. He stops for just a second, but you can actually run around. Game isn't too difficult, but now that I've said that, I've put the nail in the coffin. So, the road actually stops, so we have to take the path. Yeah, I know I forgot to check the trunk. That's alright, I got plenty of things to say about that trunk later on. Lots of speculation. Thankfully I don't need to dodge any lightning this time. It won't take 50 plus tries. Last boss is actually kind of a joke in this game. First time I played this game when I was walking through here, I actually got kind of freaked out by these odd ambient sound effects. So it's hard for me to kind of narrate and give commentary when there's really awesome things going on. So. So this game's actually fairly long, so the stream may go on for a little bit today, but that's alright. I actually really, really do enjoy this game. And if I'm not mistaken, if you look around close enough... no, you can't fall off the edge. This game actually takes place roughly 10 years after the first Silent Hill. So this actually takes place in the 90s because Silent Hill 1 actually takes place in the 80s. And our save points are no longer notepads, they're actually red pieces of paper. So looking at this makes me feel like someone's groping around inside my skull. It's interesting little save stuff here. I'm actually going to save over this. Yeah, it took me about 5 hours to play it. I didn't have too much time to play it this week. But I did get I got some good time in. My week's been pretty busy, but I'm actually really happy to be streaming for you guys right now. So, yep, hiking simulator, except with creepy dogs and footsteps behind you while you're walking. So, what's interesting is they actually don't give James like a job in this game, not like Silent Hill 1, where Harry was a writer. His title is protagonist.
Excuse me,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe. And it's not just the fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I really don't care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going to town either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone.
Who is it?
Someone... very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
So, I actually don't believe she said her name there, but that character's name is actually Angela, and I wouldn't say people are casually strolling through here. What's interesting about this game is that every character has something up with them, so you're always kind of you get bits and pieces of all the characters. So if you listen to how these people speak, you get the feeling that not everybody's right in their head. So, coming up here should be the chainsaw. You guys might actually be able to hear it as you get closer to it. There it is. What's going on, Damonation? How you doing, buddy? I actually really like this chainsaw. This chainsaw's a lot of fun. Not very, it's effective, but not as effective as it is in the first game. No, it's not my PS freaking out. And here's a photo of James's wife. Very nice girl. And this right here, the letter from his wife, is important and interesting. When I used to play this game, I actually never really used to check this note. I'll check this in a bit later in the game, and there's something very interesting that happens. What I do like about the chainsaw is if you actually let it sit for a while, which I probably won't do, James will actually put it on the ground and kind of lean on it. Pretty neat stuff. So there he goes. I always like little things like that. So, and if you kill I think like 3 or 4 enemies in a row with this, he actually starts screaming really loud, and he gets pretty crazy with it. But that's a secret item in the game. I'm gonna try not to use that. Actually, I don't use it at all. So, in this game, you'll notice that the health is actually the status picture up at the top left, and the more damage you take, the more static actually appears on that picture up there. So you have to kind of keep an eye on that. So there actually is a stamina meter which you cannot see. They went ahead. There's actually a cheat for it in Silent Hill 3 that allows you to see it. But as you stop, you notice you got to breathe heavy, and then it'll get a little bit better, and then he should stop. Now when you run, you'll notice he kind of takes off, and then you'll notice he starts to kind of slow run as the meter gets lower. There he goes, kind of a little jog. And you pretty much, I call this slow running, you pretty much slow run through most of the game, because you really don't have time to stop and breathe. But it's just an interesting little game mechanic most people don't know about. But it actually is a bar that's measured, but you can't see it. little loading screen of the footsteps. But God, there's so much trivia about this game, but I can't give anything up just yet. Originally, though, James was going to have two personalities. One of those was James, and the other was going to be Joseph. Yeah, he is out of shape. And I'll explain. They decided not to do Joseph, so James is James. And I'll explain Joseph in a bit as to what they were trying to do. But if I say too much, it'll give too many things away. For anybody who hasn't seen this game. Most people have played it, though, so... Odd sound effects in the background. It's good stuff. Run. Good grief. Here we go. We are now inside of Silent Hill. And as usual, we have our awesome fog. Keeps the loading times down. And adds a nice little ambiance to the game. So, and our map is it's actually a lot bigger than this. It'll actually span over to the left a bit more, and I do believe it goes down a little bit. But what's nice is a lot of these little... You actually can't go into too many of these buildings, but there is some interesting stuff here and there. And if you do some exploring, you can actually come across quite a few items, just kind of scattered. What I do like that they introduced in this game is when you're near an item, James will actually look at it. Unlike the first game where you could pass something up and never know that it was there. So there you go. See how he kind of turns his head? So you can kind of figure out where something is. So, first aid kit. Good stuff. So it never really hurts to explore in this game. You can actually find some really interesting things. There are a lot of references to movies and writers and actors in this game. Most of the streets are named actually after real-life writers. And writers, actors, and something else, like producers. So I've actually never bothered to look and to see. And just like this game kind of starts off like the first. You kind of see something in the fog. See a blood trail? Gotta follow it. And James will actually look when there's monsters around too, so it's nice. And I actually do enjoy the sound effects in this game a lot more than the first one. The radio actually doesn't sound like bells ringing, it sounds like static on a radio. There we go. And even though these items are actually... Shut up, Damon. I can't hate on him in this game because this is where he first showed up. And I think that Pyramid Head is actually tied to James. So, regardless of my opinions, he's popular, but, whatever. Actually, we don't need to save. What are you trolling so much for, Damon? And coming up here, we are going to run into our first monster in the game. It dead ass.
Dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
So James thinks it's weird, but not too weird. I would have been fucking running the hell out of this town.
Oh, yeah. This thing broken? What the? I'd better take it anyway. I might need it.
If I was in one of these games, man, I wouldn't know what the hell was useless and what was useful. So that first enemy we actually ran into was actually called a lying figure. And you'll notice that it actually looks kind of like a guy who's, or someone who's bound, almost in like a straitjacket. And you'll notice that the bottom half of the body is very sexualized. And that's actually a theme that's played up very heavily in this game. Is you'll notice that a lot of the enemies do carry this sexual overtone, and I don't mean that like as a joke. I mean it's a serious part of the game, and that's one of the reasons why I really do like this. I like this series, and I specifically like this game. And now that we've run into that first enemy, they're everywhere. I do not recommend fighting them. They have a ranged attack, but you can run around them with little difficulty, so there's no real reason to go out of your way to fight anything when you're out in the streets. There's no dogs, there's no flying creatures, anything like that, so no freaky monkey things. But like I was saying, every creature in this game, does relate to James here in some way. So it's really hard for me not to say too much right now, but just take note of the way the enemies look, what exactly are these enemies made out of. Like a lot of the monsters in the first game related to Cheryl or Alessa and their fears of certain things. Fear of bugs, fear of dogs. Maybe Cheryl read a story. That's why there's flying pterodactyls everywhere, things like that. And these creatures do like to hide underneath cars and things. Nothing to worry too much about, though. I actually was not supposed to pick that up. I got a lucky guess. So you notice that that's their one attack, is they spew some kind of goo at you. Yes, that's what it is. Try not to give too many spoilers, guys. I'm trying not to reveal too much. I don't know how many people in this game have actually played anything, as far as Silent Hill is concerned. And that's one of the things I think that was lost in some of the other Silent Hills, was the need to kind of tie everything together to the main, our main character, whoever that may be at the time. I do need to go back, and play 3 and see, does everything kind of relate to Heather? It's alright, don't worry about it. But, but like I was saying, that's one of the things I really like about these games, is they do touch on a lot of almost taboo subjects. We're talking about, sex and things like that. Stuff that you really don't see in games around this time. I remember when games weren't even, like when games were cussing for the first time. That was like big shit. Actually, let's go to Happy Burger real quick. I actually think there's some stuff laying around here. There we go. Again, like I said, exploring, not a bad thing. They give you quite a bit of health in this game, and if it's not set on hard mode, you don't have to worry about using too many health items. I enjoyed Silent Hill 3 mainly because of all of the extras that were in the game. There were a lot of just pretty interesting things just all around. Lots of extra costumes, really weird weapons you could get, like the Heather Beam / Sexy Beam. Just weird shit. It's pretty cool. So we were actually trying to get to the park, but if I'm not mistaken, you actually can't get that way, taking the road. And again, I mean, there is danger out here, but you don't really need to worry about much. I see anything crawling around, whatever. Lots of dead people out in the road. Some notes from this dude scattered about. So they pretty much tell you that the monsters are attracted to light, sound, things like that. And like the first game, the monsters cannot hear your radio, but they can see your light. And sometimes turning off your light in this game actually is pretty helpful. I never really did it in the first game, but in this game it can actually save you a lot of trouble. Yeah, the Sailor Moon costume in 3 is probably one of my favorite things. Because she actually does do a transformation sequence and everything. It's pretty fun. And that weird noise you're hearing is actually the bugs crawling around on the ground. They actually don't really go out of their way to attack you, so. And since we actually found the apartment key early on, we can actually go into our first little dungeon area, I guess. God damn it, I just read your comment. Oh, man. You know you love Pyramid Head. He's your favorite. Which actually, in this game, they actually call him Red Pyramid Thing. They don't straight up go Pyramid Head. Or they may at one point. So, as always, find the map. Map is a good thing. And there's some things that in this game that are a little odd. There's some commentaries on certain things, namely American society. When you find the handgun is actually inside of a shopping cart, and I didn't think that was too out of the way, but I did a little research, and the director or producer, I'm not sure who it was exactly, but he wanted that because he thought it was ridiculous at how easy it was for an American to go to a store and buy a gun. I mean, you can go to Walmart and buy a handgun or a rifle. So, interesting stuff. Little stabs at us. And if you're not standing in enough light, you actually can't read your map. But if you do stand in an area that is lit, you can check your map. They don't let you do that, or they don't make you do that for very long. You actually get your light fairly soon. And some of the walls are actually kind of like plastered over like that. Really interesting stuff. Camera's changing on me. Sucker. Yeah, that's one of the things I've always liked about Silent Hill. There's a lot of locked doors. And here we go. I always love this camera angle right here. It's our lights. And you'll notice that they do put focus on the clothing of the mannequin right here. So, which, if anybody doesn't get the message, looks like his wife. And we also have our second enemy, which actually is called Mannequin. Which you'll notice it is 2 pairs of legs on top of each other. So, interesting stuff. And their only real attack is to kind of whack you with their leg. Dormia, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Hope you guys had a good week. My week was it's busy, to say the least. But you'll notice that, again, 2 pairs of legs, come on. 2 pairs of female legs, I might add. Upside down on top of each other. Let me turn my light off. Actually, until you get your pistol, you kind of don't really want to tangle with too many of the enemies. I've never liked the melee combat in these games. Although the sound effects they make aren't exactly the most pleasant. And now that I think about it, I actually probably did not turn off the ×3 ammo. So I'm cheating now and I don't even realize it. So I apologize for that, but... Oh, you got it. Don't ask me why they make those noises. I'd stomp them into the ground. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, I didn't really like Homecoming too much. So, these enemies are actually attracted to light, which is really interesting because they don't have eyes. Unless you count Big Guy Brana. I went there. I don't like being this close to the flying figures. I'll just club this bastard. No, this is not on PC. This is actually my PlayStation 2 copy, being on PS3. Classic PS3. Well, what's interesting about this version of the game is not too long after they released this one, they actually released an Xbox port of it, which was called, I believe, like Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. And that one actually contained I guess not really a mini game, but kind of an extra scenario which starred another character, which we'll run into in a bit. But it kind of just, goes over some of the things that she went through prior to meeting our main character James here. And it also contained the UFO ending, which this version of it does not have, and which really disappoints me. And then all of the other ports of the game, like I guess they call it the Director's Cut / Greatest Hits version, actually does have everything in it, so... By me buying this game early, I actually didn't. I missed out on content, which I always think is ridiculous, but whatever. This is not too much of a puzzle. Henry, Mildred, Scott. Hours, minutes, seconds. Yeah, I do enjoy the dog ending. I was going to try to get that ending, but you have to actually beat the game 3 times. Get all the endings first, and then you beat it again, and you get this doghouse key, and then you open up a door. I'll find it for you guys after I'm done with the game, and then play it from like YouTube or something. It's pretty funny. I'm just turning my light off to avoid dealing with that. I have not played Eternal Darkness, but my mod Daemonation actually showed it to me. I really did enjoy watching that game. I would love to play it. Let's go ahead and reach for this key here. have a glimpse of another character in the game. Nobody likes kids, especially kids that are brats. And you'll notice that in this third floor, actually, the lighting's a lot more dim, and these horrible sound effects are playing in the background. Yeah, if you're gonna buy the, here we go. See, the handgun in the shopping cart, and there are no other shopping carts in this entire game. So it's a little commentary, a little joke on the part of the Japanese. But I'll go ahead and equip the gun since I'm pretty sure I've got way too much ammo for it already. Yeah, I did not mean to leave that on, but I'm just gonna leave it on, just for the sake of the game. So now we have our pistol. The one on the PlayStation 1 disc copy, I actually wouldn't recommend playing it on your PS1 or your PS3 because of what happened to me on the stream last Saturday. The horrible sounds that were playing, things like that. The PSN version from the store, I don't believe you're not going to get trophies and things like that. But the sound issues are cleared up, things like that. I would prefer to own a disc copy myself. But, what are you going to do? And I'm actually waiting. Again, like the first Silent Hill, there are a lot of things that are triggered just by kind of going around to different areas. Again. It's a nice little yell right there. So. And I do believe this will be one of the first glimpses of the red pyramid thing. You notice the static gets a little crazy when he's around. There he is, for everybody. First appearance. Not much to him. Actually looks like a fat butcher with a helmet on. He's glowing red. I actually... It's game specific. I remember... Resident Evil 2 more than I remember any of the other Resident Evils, and along with the remake. But I do know quite a bit about this game off the top of my head, and I did some research too to try to.
God, who could?
Now this corpse here is actually interesting. There's some videos online that you can find. But if you have the PC version of the game, you can actually kind of force the camera to go where the television is. And the model of this corpse is actually James's model. So there's some interesting things there to be said, And we just found ourselves a nice little key, which actually was not there before. And our red pyramid thing is gone. So, like I was saying about the enemies, they do represent very sexualized, aspects of James. And let me actually check what key I have right now. So, there's not much more to say. What is this one? 202. There's not very much to say about, the first two enemies. Obviously the lying figure, this one right here. You notice that it's got like this really round ass. And obviously the mannequins are... you'll notice... now, yes, it's his corpse and it is in front of a TV, but you'll notice that Pyramid Head was actually around when you find that corpse. So, I'm not going to try to say anything outright. I don't know why that sound plays, but it always kind of creeps me out. Yes, I will stick my hand in the hole with green goo coming out of it. Controller rumbles really crazy when you're sticking your arm in there. Clock key, alright. And you'll notice that there are butterflies kind of flying around. This whole room is full of butterflies. And this little sound only plays in this room. This does actually, they don't tell you outright, but this room actually does kind of involve his wife and her love of I don't know if she actually loved butterflies or anything like that, but it does represent a lot of the things in this game do represent things in James's subconscious. So. I like that one, Zergling. So now that we have our clock key, let's go ahead and open that clock up. But you'll notice, like I said, the Pyramid Head was around, and there's a corpse, which you can't really see. That's a good question. I'm not sure if she did. I don't remember any butterflies in the first game. There could have been. I'm not going to count that out. And you'll remember that it said, what was it, Mildred Scott. And I do believe it's 9, 10, and 15 seconds. I guess it just lets you, as long as you're near it, it'll let you do it. Actually, I think you were right. I do remember in that very last room before the final fight, God knows, I saw it 50-something times. I think you're right. I think there were some butterflies in there. And that's another thing that's interesting about this game. Very little actually carried over from 1 to 2, and I do think if they had kept with this weird formula of, guy goes into Silent Hill and really freaky shit happens to him, I think you have a lot of potential there if you can build a strong protagonist, which is what my hope is for Downpour, because I do like the idea of a prisoner, he's in prison for doing something to children, he's going to Silent Hill, and God only knows what the hell's going to come of that. So hopefully the new team, because this game up until The Room I believe were made by Team Silent, so hopefully the new guys will get their thumbs out of their ass and give us something that's worthwhile, not just Pyramid Head everywhere. You guys remember 2? 2 was a great game. Which this one is considered to be probably the best one in the series. Not because of the controls, because the controls are still pretty shitty. But the story is just... The first time you play this game, you may not understand everything. If you do a little research, though, you get a little kind of taken back by how much there is. And let me go downstairs. Damon, I was actually at this part when you were talking about Pogs with me earlier today. You guys remember Pogs? And I believe I just went to the same area I was just in. Yep, not a big deal. And what's really odd about when you go out, when you leave the map screen, you're actually able to move faster than the screen will load. So I was actually able to turn around and open the door fairly quickly. So I can actually demonstrate that. So go in here, I'll leave, and I can actually turn around. You can hear him kind of turn around, and then the screen will load for a fraction of a second. Yep, that was them. Little cardboard cylinders, or circles. Use the slammer, man. Knock the pogs over. A podcast. And you notice, since we're on the 3rd floor again, everything's very dark. Hard as shit to see anything. And I actually have a really bad glare on my TV right now. Alright, got some molestation going on. he's got those weird penguin hands going on, Danny DeVito style. And I read somewhere that him being in the closet and firing a gun out of it was actually it's reminiscent. It's actually a callback to a movie. I'll have to do some research on that and let you guys know when I play 3. But you'll notice that Pyramid Head was more or less fucking these these mannequins here. And like I said, repressed everything in this game. I mean, they do it beyond reasons than just like, oh, this will be kind of disturbing. It's all playing into everything. Although that is pretty damn funny. And it's actually... I do believe I was coming this way. And there's that key, actually, that our little brat of a character stepped on my hand. And if you don't stomp on them after the 3 shots, they'll actually run around like jackasses for a little bit. But, there's not much to worry about. Usually, the way it works is 3 shots, they go down, and then you kind of just kick them in the head. And what's really weird is when you shoot the enemies and then kick them to kill them, it actually does not count as a, I guess like a projectile or a handgun. What am I trying to say here? It doesn't count as a gun kill. It counts actually as a melee kill because you step on them. So when I used to beat this game, I used to step on all the monsters. And then you get to the end and it's like, you killed 5 enemies with the guns. And I'm like, no, I didn't. I killed like 300. Toilets. James loves toilets in this game. And again, some of these rooms don't have much in them, but... Oops. Anything to help. Now, when you play this game normally and you don't accidentally leave on, plus, times 3 ammo, you do need to be a bit more conservative, with what you're doing. Did I come in here already? Let's look around a little bit. There's this picture on the wall here. Actually, let's go pick up that key that was on the ground. Or did I do that already? Yeah, I did it already. Yeah, grind the head into the ground. What's odd is if you are walking forward and shooting, if you let go of the controls, you'll actually walk forward for a good 2 to 3 seconds. Afterwards. So that's a little frustrating. That actually happened when I was fighting that monster there. Not a big deal though. And your pistol holds 10 shots. It's a good idea to kind of pull a Resident Evil. You don't want to really catch yourself reloading while you're walking around. I mean, not that the enemies really move that quickly, but anything to kind of give yourself a little bit of an edge over any of these monsters. Yes, I did pick up some canned juice just now. The camera in this game, it can be frustrating at times. A lot of the times it's really not too bad. But sometimes I will want to look forward and not... not watch James run towards me. And that canned juice we found, actually, we need to use in the other section of this little area. Now let me see what keys I picked up. I'm actually not paying attention. And you'll notice that the status is kind of flicking slightly, so you notice when it turns green like that, you're okay. Courtyard key. Let's actually go outside for a little bit. No, I don't have the freeze spray. I haven't gotten the hyper spray, which is actually, for anybody who doesn't know what the fuck I'm talking about, some of the secret weapons in the game are actually pretty funny. One of them is actually called the hyper spray, and you literally can spray enemies with, I don't even know, is it like a can of hairspray or whatever the hell it is, but depending on how you get the spray, I believe it's like difficulty, things like that, the spray will have different effects. The best one you can get actually to kill most enemies in a single hit. One version of it, I think the weakest version of it, like paralyzes them, things like that. Pretty funny. Looks like a butane lighter? Ah, cool. Yeah, the cussing thing, the cussing filter is turned on, but I don't give a crap about anybody saying whatever, as long as you guys keep it friendly. I wish I knew how to allow my mods to post links. That would be very nice. Still haven't figured that one out yet. I can post links, but I can't stop to look stuff up. He actually dropped in 2 shots or whatever. So again, like I said, since I kicked both of these enemies, those do not count as gun kills. So let's see what we got here. Let's actually start at the other end. I think one of the things that they need to do for these Silent Hill games is they need to make a damn button that will allow the camera to just go directly behind you, not hold the button down and eventually the camera will move. And we are about to be introduced to another character, and you'll notice that there actually is a corpse inside of this fridge here. And I actually knew a guy in college who actually looked exactly like this character we're about to meet. And he was even more retarded and more dumb than this guy.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do what?
I didn't do anything. I swear. He was like this when I got here.
My name's James. James Sunderland.
Eddie.
Eddie. Who's that dead guy in the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
You're not friends with that red pyramid thing.
Red pyramid thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Honest. But I did see some weird-looking monsters. They scared the hell out of me, so I ran in here.
Well, I guess this place isn't too safe either. What happened here anyway?
I told you, I don't know. I'm not even from this town. I just...
You too, huh? Something just brought you here, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, whatever it is, I think you better get out of here soon.
Yeah, you're right. What about you?
I'll leave as soon as I'm done here. Eddie, be careful.
James, you be careful too.
Eddie's an interesting, very, very interesting character. And it was because of him I actually realized what the hell was actually going on in this town. I can actually give you guys a little bit of background about him without revealing too much. His name, Eddie, was, and I swear to God, his name was actually taken from Eddie Murphy. As you guys will know, like I talked about in the very first stream with Resident Evil, that one of the characters was actually designed after Eddie Murphy. So I don't know what the Japanese have, like, I don't know what exactly they love about Eddie Murphy so much, but they do. So originally his character was going to be very cheerful, and he was not going to be the way he is in this game, which you will see that, they're, just like James, everybody else, there's some real problems with these people. And, hold on, let's kill some things. That's always fun. See, again, camera's a problem. Got caught reloading, so I'm not paying attention. Not a big deal, though, like I said. That scene with Eddie kind of puking into the toilet again, yeah, I don't know where all that vomit came from. That scene was actually a lot more graphic. It was planned to be a lot more graphic in the original version. And then they toned it down. The sound effects were a lot more graphic. And I believe that it was supposed to be visually more graphic, too. I don't know if we were supposed to actually watch him puke his guts out. But there were a couple of things that were... there were a couple things that they actually edited in this game. And one of the things that they had planned to do originally was they were going to have... James here, actually, when he fought the monsters, he was actually going to dismember them. That was he was going to rip their limbs off and things like that. But they decided not to do that and instead go for, more melee-based weapons, things like that. Just really odd things, But that's what they went with, and I'm happy with it. Although I do think him grabbing like the leg of like a mannequin or one of the four legs and just ripping it off and beating the hell out of it with it would have been pretty intense. But I don't think it would have fit his character as much, because he is kind of a wiener, for I guess lack of a better word. So we actually have to go back through this little clock area. I know what I'm trying to do, I just can't remember how to do it. You'll notice that the music kind of kicks up in this area. I love the music in this game. It's great. Everything sounds very like, I don't know, it sounds like you're in a factory almost. Lots of metal rubbing against metal and clanging. I always feel like the Terminator when I walk and shoot. And like I was saying, running from the enemies is preferable, but when you're in areas like this, you really don't have too many options to run around. So, sometimes it's just go ahead and shoot. Akira Yamamoka. Thank you very much. I don't know why the hell. I guess Silent Hill doesn't have any fire codes, but they built a building right next door to this one. And then built a door that led to the window. I'm not too fond of the new voice acting that they have planned, but that's also, it hasn't been, I guess they haven't run it through their sound mixers just yet. Here we go. A toilet full of shit. And I'm going to make James stick his hand in it. Some kind of memo in it. 4167. Okay. Here's an interesting thing to note. Most people know this, but this little scene right here, if you have your save data, which is actually why it's better to play these games on a PS2, if you have your memory card still. If you have your memory card with the data for Silent Hill 2, you can actually get some interesting scenes in Silent Hill 3. So there's a fun little scene. I actually forgot those because I'm talking already. There's actually a scene where Heather will walk up to a toilet. 4167. Okay. She'll actually look at the toilet, and then she'll look at the camera, kind of breaking the fourth wall, and say, who would do something like that? Referring to James. So, just some fun things. Let's see if this works. Yeah, there we go. And that's an optional puzzle. You don't really need to do it, but, shit tons of handgun ammo. Why not? James's voice is... I'm really not sure how to describe it, because at first it does sound a little kind of wonky, but as you go further into the game, he does get a lot more, what's the word, like authoritative? So, I don't know if that's intentional or if the guy just realized, okay, I better improve on my voice acting. Whoops, I actually just realized I forgot to do something. No, the room actually does not have, at least I don't believe it does, it doesn't have anything that's kind of any callbacks and things like that. There's only a couple of things in... in 3 that actually relate to this game. Got some bugs going around here and there. Where the hell am I? Oh, right. Bugs. And one of the things I'm so glad that they did was, in the first game, if a roach was attacking you, you couldn't just step on it. You had to, waste ammo trying to shoot it. But in this game, if a bug gets near you, you could just press the button and he'll stomp it into oblivion. I personally did not like the room, but that I do need to play it again and kind of... There we go, see that stupid bug right there, done. I do need to play it again, of course, which I'm actually, to be perfectly honest, I'm kind of dreading. And then, just to kind of, whether or not it's as bad as I remember it. There were just things I didn't enjoy, but that doesn't mean that, because I said so, it's a bad game. If you liked it, hey, thumbs up. I'm glad somebody did. Again, because it was the last one that Team Silent had done. And then we got Homecoming, which, as David Nation so graciously put it, is Silent Hill the movie, the game, which is, I did not like. Oh, wait.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, I'm James.
Angela.
Angela, okay. I don't know what you're planning, but there's always another way.
Really? But you're the same as me. It's easier just to run. Besides, it's what we deserve.
No, I'm not like you.
Are you afraid? I'm sorry.
It's okay. Did you find your mother?
Not yet. She's not anywhere.
Did she live in this apartment building?
I don't know.
So, all you know is she lived in this town.
What did you say? How do you know that?
Well, I just figured, 'cause this is where you're looking for her. How else would I know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
I'm so tired.
So, why did you come to this town anyway?
I'm sorry. Did you find the person you're looking for?
Not yet. Her name's Mary. She's my wife.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Anyway, she's dead. I don't know why I think she's here.
She's dead?
Don't worry. I'm not crazy. At least, I don't think so.
I've got to find my mama.
Should I go with you? This town's dangerous. Now I know what you meant back there in the cemetery.
I'll be okay by myself. Besides, I'd just slow you down.
What about that?
Will you hold it for me?
Sure. No problem.
If I kept it, I'm not sure what I might do.
Angela, what another, it's just crazy. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she says, I think somebody in the chat pointed it out, she does say, I'm sorry, quite a bit. Now, beyond it being funny, it actually does kind of clue you into the character. She's very submissive. She's a very submissive person. You know, you really have to kind of psychoanalyze a lot of the characters in this game. But that bitch got problems, man. There's always going to be lag on the stream, so when you guys hear me, I would have said something almost right away. But she's Canadian. Her name was actually taken from the main character of a movie called The Net. I've never actually seen that movie, but that's where they got her name from. So it's an interesting little thing for you guys. Again, I don't have the map of this area because I'm a chump. And did I pick up that coin that was in there? Yes, I did. No. So, I actually need to go back to the other apartment building. And the knife that she actually gave you, there's some really interesting ways to get the different endings in this game. So if you actually examine the knife that Angela was holding, it has some blood on it, there is an ending that you can get, which, I don't want to say too much, but I'll talk about it at the end. But also examining, your wife's picture and her letter, every so often. So I'm just going to go for the good ending. Just because I like that one. If I decide later on to get another one, then I will. But keeping your health up at a certain keeping your health up, all the time. As soon as you get hit, heal. That benefits your positive. For getting a positive game. If you allow your health to stay low for a lot and you check the knife, obviously you can get a pretty fucked up ending. Julia Roberts movie? Okay, interesting. This I did not know. Oh, yeah. Kick you in one of your crotches. And since I don't have a map, it's actually very hard for me to figure out. Yes, thank you. Because I need to go back to the other room. Or other apartment building, I should say. Exactly is that other door? I have to do this systematically. Like I said, if you don't have your map, it's a real pain in the ass. I'm not too big a fan on the of the newer voices. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see what they do. I'm sure no matter what it is, it'll probably be bad and nobody will like it. But whatever. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and nobody's gonna say any different. Ah, that's actually a secret item that you get for beating the game once, and this is that room with the puzzle in it, which I actually need the other coin for. Thank you. But every character in this game... Whoops, did I just come in here? Every character in this game, their name actually comes from different... what am I trying to say? They're influenced by certain things. And I just went the wrong way. I just went back the way I came. So like I said, Angela's name comes from the net. No, this is actually this is my PS2 copy, and I'm playing it on my, I guess you can call it my classic PlayStation 3, because obviously the newer versions don't, they're not backwards compatible that way. And supposedly there are some graphical glitches, but I haven't seen them yet, so far so good. You know, keep your fingers crossed. So. So with a note on it. But, you know, a fair warning about playing your Silent Hill 1 copy in your PS3. You know, horrible sound effects. All kinds of bad things happen. Yeah, the fat PS3. This is the one I bought in Florida, Damon. Ah, here we go. One with the toilet. That's a good question. Yeah, that's my 60 gig one. That's a good question. I don't know if you can actually use the weak attack on the PC version, because it is pressure sensitive. You guys have noticed I don't have the pipe either. I actually forgot where to get the pipe in this game. But you don't really need it, so it's not that big a deal. And I am looking for this little area right here. Like I said, I know what I'm trying to do. I just can't remember where. Here we go. And you use the can juice right here. Here it is. If I just gone to the right 2 spaces. And now we need to go outside, and the last coin that we need for a puzzle. PC version's buggy. Interesting. If I'm not mistaken, Damon, maybe you can fill me in. Didn't you say that the PC version actually is, isn't it HD already? Or isn't it kind of upscaled or something to that effect? Here we go. And our last coin is in here. And this article that's right here, Walter Sullivan's. I noticed somebody posted about it in the chat already. But Walter Sullivan, I mean, this article talks about him murdering 2 children and then killing himself by stabbing a soup spoon into his neck, burying it like 2 to 3 inches into his neck. So in Silent Hill: The Room, you actually do run into Walter Sullivan, and that's something interesting to note. Where there's actually kind of, I mean, I guess you could talk about Dahlia Gillespie and Alessa, but I mean, that's, to me, The Room is the first time you actually have like a villain, somebody that is like trying to stop you from point A to point B, in the game. Yeah, it's not how you use a spoon. It's going to serve himself some heaping bowls of his own neck. So there, now that we have that. You guys are crazy, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for being in the stream. I really do appreciate it. This is probably, other than last week, this actually is a good stress relief for me. I actually look forward to doing these streams. I like listening to you guys. You guys are crazy. And for anybody new, I would appreciate the follows. I'm very consistent with my streams. And I was doing some thinking, and I do believe that after I am done with, Silent Hill, I won't be able to do Homecoming just yet, but I may pull back and then do Resident Evil 4 just to kind of go back and play that one real fast. But we do have, what we got? We have this game, we have Silent Hill 3, and we have Silent Hill: The Room. And I do have, thanks to my mod here, my good friend Damonation, I do have, what is that game? Let me see if I can read it from here. Is that Shattered Memories? Is that what that one's called? I do have that for PS2. It's not my Wii copy, but I'm actually looking for room 105, I believe. I do believe it's back this way. There we go. It's true, that's how I lure you guys in. Okay, now we have our first puzzle here. And usually, I think I didn't mention it. I did like Shattered Memories, I did enjoy. Oh, I definitely will be doing a lot of the other survival horror games like Eternal Darkness and things. Maybe I can even get Damonation to do that for me. So a lot of these puzzles, you do have to kind of read, what they say, and I have this memorized. But hello, Trained by Death. How are you? Okay, so the way this is the first game that actually allows you to have different difficulties when it comes to riddles and puzzles and things. So they do. So the puzzles do change. So that's one of the things that I really liked about, this game is that it increases the replay value. I mean, if you really don't want to deal with the puzzles, I mean, you can, set it to easy, and it'll give you you won't have to sit around and dick around too much with the, these puzzles. But if you change it to hard, the puzzles in concept are still the same. The answers are not the same. But, and then obviously the riddles themselves are more difficult, pretty easy. This is a normal puzzle level. I'm just trying to do this for entertainment. Maybe somebody hasn't seen this game, and they hear that Silent Hill 2 is the greatest one in the series. So, But sometimes I did beat. Whoops! Let me open it up and not even take what's inside. Here we go. Like in, I believe I mentioned it before, but in Silent Hill 3, if you turn the riddle level to the, I keep checking my map, man, and I need to find where that's at. If you turn the difficulty all the way up on the riddles, I mean, you do need to know. I mean, you need to know your Shakespeare. You need to know your calculus. You know, it really does kind of fuck with you. So it's pretty interesting stuff. I really do enjoy Silent Hill 2 and 3. I do need to. I remember 3 being a really fun game, and I need to play it again and confirm all of that. Like I think that my other mod isn't here. Bonus really enjoys the what do you call that? Kind of the horror house section of Silent Hill 3. For anybody that remembers that. Here we go. I believe there is an extra hard riddle level. I think it's for this one. It may be for 3 also. I don't doubt it. But they do have extra hard mode for you puzzle masters. I am not a puzzle master. Oh, and like I said, James he likes to look at the items, which is much better than a lot of the things that Silent Hill 1 did. So they did improve the game, going from 1 to 2. So that's always, a definite plus. And we need to go back, I believe. And this stairwell key will actually lead us to one of our first boss fights, which in order to win, you actually do not need to fire a single shot. Turn up the volume, listen to the room. What happens? I do like Silent Hill 1. I think the voice acting's a little corny. Game can be very difficult if you're not paying attention. Come see my dead wife do some laundry. Are you serious? I believe he's talking about the room I was just in. Okay, but this boss fight, and actually this is another odd rape scene for Pyramid Head. But you actually don't need to shoot him at all. This is true, yes. Resident Evil 1 does hold King of the Corny for dialogue. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know sometimes the volume gets a little crazy. But mainly what you're doing, you just want to dodge him. That attack right there is the one you got to worry about. If you're too close to him, he will do he does kind of a really rough down slash. But he moves really slow with the, I forget what that's called, like the Great Knife. Which you can actually get as a weapon in this game. Like I said, there's not much to say here, but this is the first time you fight Pyramid Head? Or, excuse me, the Red Pyramid thing. We are actually waiting for the very iconic siren. bullets just kind of bounce off of him. Get out of the way. I'm not sure how much that down slash does to you, but I'm sure it hurts. There it is. And he will actually start to walk away. Now, if you get too close to him, he doesn't have any problem turning around to swing at you. James gets impatient. There we go. So, like I said, don't need to fire a single shot, and Pyramid Head was doing something to the what is that called? The lying body monster there. Pretty disgusting stuff. I don't think Pyramid Head liked the way I was fighting him. But, I mean, the first time you fight him, I mean, you can sit there and literally just shoot and shoot and shoot, and nothing will happen, and you'll shoot through quite a bit of ammo. There is a fight later on where you do have to shoot them, but I mean, they never specifically tell you that, so it can be pretty rough sometimes. Alright, now we've actually made it to, the other side here, and we can actually make it to the park, which is where we were trying to go.
You! It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who stepped on my hand.
I don't know. Maybe I did.
What's a little girl like you doing here, anyway?
Huh? Are you blind or something?
What's that letter?
None of your business. You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
Should have shot her when you had the chance. Again, getting more clues here, more clues from various characters you're meeting up with. Rosewater Park. If you actually explore the park, there's actually a good chunk of items just kind of floating around in here. Now you can find, I think the best healing item in the game is actually I believe it's pronounced an ampule, which they are in Silent Hill 1, but I didn't find a single one of them because I wasn't really paying attention. But you honestly, really, you don't need them.
Mary? No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No, my late wife. I can't believe it. You could be her twin. Your face, your voice, just your hair and clothes are different.
My name is Maria. I don't look like a ghost, do I? See? Feel how warm I am?
You're really not Mary.
I told you. I'm Maria.
Sorry. I was confused.
Where are you going?
I'm looking for Mary. Have you seen her?
Didn't you say she died?
Oh, yeah. 3 years ago. But I got a letter from her. She says she was waiting in our special place.
And that's here? Anyway, I haven't seen her. Is this your only special place?
next to the pretzel stand.
Well, there's the hotel, too, I guess. The one on the lake? I wonder if it's still there.
The Lakeview Hotel? Yeah, it's still there. So, the hotel was your special place, huh? I'll bet it was. Don't get so mad. I was just joking. Anyway, it's not that way. It's this way.
You're coming with me?
You were gonna just leave me?
No, but...
With all these monsters around?
No, I just...
I'm all alone here. Everyone else is gone. I look like Mary, don't I? You loved her, right? Or maybe you hated her.
Don't be ridiculous.
So it's okay?
Yeah, fine.
And now we have Maria. Another. I believe this completes the cast of characters in this game. And I'm trying not to say too much about her. Please keep the spoilers to a minimum. She's interesting, that's for sure. If I'm not mistaken, her costume, I read, and now this may not be true, they actually modeled her costume after a Christina Aguilera costume. Not that anyone can post any links, but you guys could look that up. There's a couple little areas you can. So now we need to make our way towards the hotel. And you do have to kind of protect her, but she does a good job of following you around. You really don't need to worry too much about her. Which is nice, because I really don't like escorting characters in games. And in the other versions of the game, like the Restless Dreams version, and just I guess like the Director's Cut Greatest Hits version, there was an extra mode called Born from a Dream, which allows you to play as Maria, and you actually play the events leading up to her meeting James. And I've actually never played that, so I actually don't know what happens in that mode. It would be nice to play it, but I have my copy of this game, and I'm content with it. Maybe at some point I'll buy it just to kind of play it and see what, because I would like to get the alien ending for everybody. At some point I'm going to do a video with all the endings. So
I'll wait here. I hate bowling.
I didn't come here to play,
Hurry back, okay?
And now we were in the Bowl-O-Rama. Which doesn't last very long. Yeah, we just finished the apartment area. Where'd you get that pizza from?
So what'd you do? Robbery? Murder?
Nah, nothing like that.
Huh, you're just a gutless fatso.
What'd you have to say that for?
I thought you said the cops were after you.
No, I just ran because I was scared. I don't know what the cops are doing.
But if you did something bad, why don't you just say you're sorry? Well, I guess I run away a lot too.
It's no good. They wouldn't listen. Nobody will ever forgive me.
I do enjoy dialogue while you're able to explore, so...
Did you find the lady you're looking for? What's her name? Mary?
Excuse me. But, yeah, there's no links. I'm sorry about that, guys. After playing the old ones again, I really hold on. I'll wait for the scene to finish.
Eddie?
Oh, you're...
James. We met in the apartment building?
Yeah, I remember. But,
Are you alone here, Eddie?
no.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Eddie, let's go after her.
Huh? Laura? But why?
Laura. Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
Forget you. How 90s is that? I've played every Silent Hill game with the exception of the PSP one. And that's if I'm remembering all the games correctly. That's also the only one I don't own. So. And now we have learned the name of the little girl, which is Laura.
Did a little girl run out of here?
Yeah, she was too fast for me. Aren't you gonna go after her?
Damn it, I want some fucking pizza, man. And, as far as Laura is concerned, you really don't get too much information from her, but I do know that her name is actually from a story called No Language But a Cry, which was a nonfiction novel that talked it was sort of about like child abuse, things like that. So, not that you find out Laura's been abused or anything like that, at least nothing that I've been able to pull from this game. If the PSP game was ported to PS2, I will buy it and play it for you guys. Because that's honestly the only one I've never played. But I've loved all the games except The Room and Homecoming.
She went through there.
I like to think I'm cute.
Is there any other way?
Yeah, there is. Right through there.
And actually, one of the determining factors as to what ending you get is actually how many times you bump into Maria.
It's no good. It's locked.
Ah, it was. Excellent. Excellent. I'm a 15. Alrighty, so now I believe we are actually in nightclub, which is called Dreamer's Night, if I'm not mistaken. And in Silent Hill 3, you can actually find, and I believe that's part of having the PS2 data, you can actually find a poster for the Dreamer's Nightclub that actually says, come see Maria. And she actually has black hair. That's what I do in that's my day job, Damon. And then what's interesting is, since she does have black hair, it's kind of hard to tell, but she's actually dyed her hair blonde in this game. Heaven's Night, is that what this is called? So she actually does have black hair, but she's just dyed it. Alright. Gotta love these camera angles. And I do believe we are going to head to a new area, and well, obviously we're going to a new area, and we're going to meet another new enemy. I'm not too sure what ending I'm going to go for just yet.
Over there!
I don't want to ruin it. God, there's so many things I want to say, but I just can't just yet. One thing I can't talk about, though, is some of the original monster designs, which, Ravenhead is dying their hair blonde. It's on. That's a good question. Yeah, they did. They actually recorded quite a few footstep noises for this game. They put a lot of work in on this game, and it does show. Actually, let me make sure I got a map for this place. Last thing I want to do is run around without it. Again, I can't stress this enough. Get the map for any area you're getting into in these games. Unlike Resident Evil, where you hardly ever use the map, map is extremely important. Can't stress it enough. I love how Maria just kind of teleports into the new areas. And the one thing I really don't like about having her around is it's actually hard for me to tell what, yes. Lots of interesting stuff you can read about here, but I just want to use the save, which apparently I can't do. But one of the original designs, can I use this now? Thank you. For the lying figure, actually, which is the one that's kind of bandaged up and walks, two legs and sprays goo out of its hole. Actually originally had a mouth on it and it had a long tongue that would stick out. It was a lot more sexualized than it already was. So, pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot of, when you're playing the game, obviously you want to read these files everywhere, which is always nice. Yeah, if you, there's a couple areas where if you're running down the side of the road, you can actually see the enemies flying out from from the sides, like in the bushes. They come flying out. It's pretty funny stuff. Alright, well, now that I got it saved, normally what I like to do when I'm playing these games is actually try to, systematically open doors. And just try to figure out, make sure I've gotten an area clear. So we actually need to go to the, what's that? My left, the right of the map. And I really wish they had done more with the bathrooms in these games, because in the first Silent Hill, you actually go into the bathrooms quite a bit, and there are a lot of shock moments. There'll be a loud sound effect of some sort, things like that. They don't do that too often in this game, which I can appreciate because they have such a great atmosphere that you really don't need it. But it is appreciated, that's for sure. Locked? Okay. Out of my way, Maria. Again, checking the map over and over and over again. And a lot of the codes in this game actually do change, so memorizing them and writing them down really doesn't do you too much good. Yes, this game is definitely more psychological horror, which is one of the reasons why I like it. I've always really enjoyed characters, games, things that really get into your head. That's why the Scarecrow is one of my favorite villains of Batman. It's a little interesting fact about me. I really enjoy... here we go. Not a real big intro, but you have bubble head nurses. And you'll notice they're wearing very short skirts. Little round, and you notice how they lay on the ground when they're dead. And you notice, obviously, that they're very sexualized, just like the rest of the enemies in this game. Now, as to why they kept sexualizing them, I mean, I guess they just wanted to keep that going, but I think they need to have a new design for the nurses in games that don't involve, a character like James. But yep, this is them, and this is the ones that we all know. If anybody remembers my run of Silent Hill 1, you notice the nurses weren't very attractive. So they were just kind of characters with lumps. Enemies with like these weird parasitic lumps on their backs. Pretty gross.
Ow.
What's wrong?
I just pricked myself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, tumors, I guess you could call them that. So, one of the things that's really interesting about the nurses in this game is, I mean, obviously they're faceless, but their bodies are very, the bodies stand out quite a bit. Yeah, here we go, shotgun, good stuff. So that kind of gives you a clue as to what kind of guy James is. One of the things that I kind of picked up from this is that he's very, he considers women to be objects. There's no face, it's just a body. So, interesting stuff. And you'll notice there's a lot of things. There we go, examination room key. But you'll notice, like, there's posters everywhere. Wild, there's a woman in a bikini. I believe there's another poster right over here somewhere. There it is. So, I mean, just kind of keep your eyes open when you play these games. Yes, we're very glad that you made it, Base. James is a very horny individual. And one of the original designs, you notice how the nurses kind of carry like these golf clubs or pipes, things like that. The original design, actually, they were going to have the nurses walk around with IVs, like an IV bag in the pole for it. So that was the original design. So they were going to walk around with those and then kind of swing those at you. I'm not sure why they decided not to use that and just to go for, them having a pipe. I guess they wanted the nurses to be holding a pole. But like I said, this game, dives really heavily into very sexual tones, and all of that kind of. Well, the sexualizing of the creatures doesn't become too apparent, but you can kind of rationalize why things are the way they are. Oh. And there is actually a number on here I do need. Some of it does, and then most of the 2791, which actually I have a file, so I can look it up later. Some of the enemies do have those hidden meanings and things like that in 3, but it's not as apparent like it is in this game. I'm trying to think of some of the monsters that are in that game. I know there's like a really fat monster called like a Cancer or something. Things like that. And one of the enemies from this game actually does make it over to there. So now, I'm walking through it there, but that's alright. So, I let go and I still carry it a little bit. It's a little bit weird. Let me just check my health. And one of the secret endings you can get in this game, I just noticed the item I had. It's actually called, I can't give it away. There's a secret ending you can get if you collect 4 items in the game. Yeah, step on her head. And it's hard to tell, but the nurses' heads are actually kind of turned the wrong way. Also, so. What else are you looking at, James? What we got here? Oh. Standing right on top of it. So you notice, I'm getting a lot of health items and things. Thank you for clearing the chat, Damon. I appreciate that. And the hospitals become kind of a focal point in a lot of these games. You always kind of do go to the hospital. You don't always go to the school, but you do kind of. You go to a lot of the same areas. And a lot of people don't realize that, some people thought from Silent Hill 1 to 2 that they had actually changed the way the town looked. There's actually the section that you go to in 1 is, I believe, further south, but it actually does connect to this map. And you do return to some of the same places from 3 in this one. So, interesting stuff. And let's see, Nurse's Station. I don't believe we tried that room. That's one of the reasons I really like the map in this game, is because the the protagonist is always nice enough to write things down for you. I do enjoy the nurses in this game, but I really don't think that... okay. Like Yahtzee, if you guys ever watched Zero Punctuation, he kind of points out that a lot of the things that the new team started using in their games really didn't make much sense within the context of that game. So the nurses being hot in Silent Hill 3 don't really make too much sense. I mean, unless Heather's a lesbian and she's sexually repressed, but, they don't really... You can't... There's no evidence of that, so it's just kind of lame. Would be fun, though. Blew Maria's head off. And again, normally I would say not to waste too much ammo doing all of this, but I accidentally left it. I got reloading. I left on ×3 ammo, so technically cheating. I apologize for that, but the last thing I want to do is have a repeat of my Silent Hill 1 run where I'm trying to beat the boss 50-something times. But I am proud to say that I did do it. Without getting hit on hard mode. No health items. I agree. I don't think Pyramid Head should ever have left 2. One of my favorite endings, which unfortunately I don't have. I actually don't have the key for this, the code key for this yet. One of my favorite endings is the UFO ending, which you don't have in this game. Which is I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to say here. In the original UFO ending, which I unfortunately wasn't able to get, Harry gets abducted and he gets taken off into space. Haha, funny. In the Silent Hill 2 UFO ending, when the aliens land to confront James here, Harry is still with them. And so then he comes up to Harry and he says, "I'm looking for my wife." And Harry, he kind of replies, he's like, "That doesn't matter. Have you seen my little girl?" And then they do the same thing to James. They electrocute him and they take him away, which I always thought was fucking hilarious.